Welcome back to Beyond Awareness. I have a question for you that I want you to let sink in for a sec. When was the last time that somebody asked you what you're passionate about and you actually had an answer? Because when they asked you, what are you passionate about? You knew that they didn't mean your job title or what you do for your kids or what you're good at, but what actually lights you up. And if you went blank, and you might still go black in your mind if I were to ask you now, like, what is your passion or what is your purpose? This episode is for that person. This episode is for you. So here's what I think is happening. We get so consumed by our daily to-do list, the emails, the kids, the meetings, the constant output of just keeping everything running. And that's not even including like making meals and bedtime routines, all that stuff, that we lose touch with ourselves entirely, potentially. And when someone asks us, what's your purpose or what do you want? We genuinely don't know. And then we think that the problem is that we haven't found our purpose yet. Like it's out there somewhere floating, waiting for us to grab it or to stumble across it. But that's not what's going on. I don't think that your purpose is missing or that it's waiting for you to find it. I think that it's really right here, right next to you. I'm just envisioning it like literally just right next to you. And you're just too busy to either hear it or maybe believe that that is your purpose. And I also believe that your purpose isn't hiding in a hobby that you don't have time for or a passion that you haven't discovered yet. And that, I hope, feels like a relief because you really do feel like you don't have time, right? And my advice, plus the journaling that you're about to do, isn't going to shame you to go get more hobbies or get a hobby or to do something for yourself. I believe that your purpose is hiding in the things that you've already lived through. You've done it. It's in the hard stuff, the pivots, the moments that broke you and broke you open a little bit. That's where it lives. When I was a new mom, I was struggling. From the outside, I truly do feel like everything appeared great. But from the inside, I was obsessed with the success of my business while simultaneously falling out of love with it, which I've never shared before. But I was also questioning every parenting decision. I was walking on eggshells in my marriage. And when my son was 10 months old, I was also navigating a divorce. So it was like a quadruple whammy. And with all of that going on, I just pushed through. Eventually, I hired a business coach to help me get my motivation back. And I told her, I want to create something. I want my inspiration back, but I do not want to coach others. That just feels draining because I had just done it in my health business for 10, 11 years. And that right there is proof that I was just burnt out and stuck in my to-do list and day-to-day responsibilities to see that I actually grew a super successful team of motivated women in that health business the previous 10 years. I was good at seeing power in other people and helping them shine. And I had this superpower for instilling belief in other women, especially when they were at their lowest. And I had this knack for turning any idea into a business and simplifying it, or any existing business, I could look at it and simplify it and make it more fun and less draining. And I was also gaining the tools during this hard season to help women know what they want and to stand up for themselves. And at the time, I didn't realize that that was my purpose until I stopped long enough to actually look at my own life. And I was actually trying to push it away. I was like, no, I don't want to coach people anymore. But once I sat down, I was like, oh, damn, no, I do. And I'm good at it. And so that's exactly what we are doing today. Because if you feel like you don't have a purpose, or you can't see your own gifts, or you're just too close to your own story, or even to your hard season to make sense of it all, strategic journaling is how you find it. Not by thinking harder or Googling more jobs and types of work that you can do, or by thinking harder, but by finally slowing down long enough to feel it inside of you. So grab your journal and remember that you can save this episode and come back to the prompts because they are saved in the show notes. So let's dive on in. Prompt 1. When someone asks what you're passionate about or what lights you up outside of work and your kids or your family, what happens? Do you go blank? Do you change the subject? Do you give an answer that doesn't actually feel true? Or maybe you do actually have a spark of inspiration and then it's followed by doubt or guilt. So write down whatever comes up for you. Prompt 2. Now think about the hardest season of your life, the one that you just pushed through, or maybe you just dismissed it as a rough patch. What was happening during that time? Maybe this was happening a year ago, or 15 years ago, or when you were 8 years old. Write it down like you're telling a friend over coffee. So not the polished version, but what actually happened, and if you can, how you felt during that time. Prompt 3. In that hard season, how did you cope? What was your survival strategy? What agreements did you make with yourself or with others to protect your time, your energy, your relationships, or to protect yourself? And just a quick note, this is the thing that has been keeping your guard up and your purpose protected. It's what makes you feel like you aren't capable of sharing your mess or turning that mess into a message. So let's move on to prompt 4. What positive things came out of that hard season, whether it was 6 months later or 6 years later? And to dig deeper, you can ask yourself, who did you become and what surprised you? Or you can think about something that you figured out that you didn't know before. Or what did you wish someone had told you or done for you that nobody did during that time? Prompt 5. Look at what you just wrote down and then finish this sentence. Because of what I went through, I am really good at, and don't be humble, don't shrink it, lean into the strengths that other people probably have told you in the past and what they see in you, and the ones that you can look back and see more clearly. Prompt 5. Picture someone who is in the middle of what your hard season was specifically. She's in the middle of what you already survived. What do you want to say to her? And what does that tell you about what you are here to do? Amazing job journaling today. That is your complete entry. And I would love for you to look back at what you wrote for that last prompt, because that right there, that's not just empathy and advice that you want to give. That is direction. That is putting your guard down. That's taking all the coping mechanisms that helped you survive during that hard season and turning it into a path instead of reasons as to why you're not capable. Your purpose has never been hiding in something that you have to dig through and find or judge yourself for until you quote unquote find it. It's been here all along inside your story. It's been waiting underneath everything you've already lived through, and you've just uncovered it through the seasons that you've survived and the things that you've figured out the hard way along the way. And so I'm really proud of you for doing the work and just noticing that this version of you came out on the other side with something to say and with something to share. And that the reason you couldn't see it before is because you've just been moving too fast to look. Your life is busy. You are short on time, right? And so just a side note that that's not a character flaw. And that's simply what happens when your whole life is output and you keep giving, doing, and nothing is input. And what you just did today is input. You gave yourself this time. You gave yourself this completion. I'm envisioning like full circle moments for some of you. And that is a huge thing to be proud of. Okay. So amazing job. And this is also why I built strategic journaling into everything that I do. Not because writing things down is magic. It's far from that, but because it just gives you that place to like hear yourself. And maybe you got a glimpse of that today. Like you could hear yourself responding to some of these questions. And when you do it more frequently, you'll get to hear yourself clearer and clearer and get more clarity every single time. So I hoped that you got some clarity and direction today. And if you didn't, come back to these prompts, because each time you do, you'll go a little bit deeper. And these were deep prompts to begin with. So if your guard is still up, that makes sense. And again, save this episode, come back to it and do those prompts again. And if you're starting to feel like today was awesome, but then you uncovered even more, which happens all the time with journaling, that's where you can download the free Calm Mind Blueprint to journal more strategically through those things as well. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I will see you next Tuesday. Thanks for listening to Beyond Awareness, the podcast where we close the gap between knowing and doing. If you're ready to heal what's holding you back from success, start with my free Calm Mind Blueprint at www.samanthapenkoff.com/calm-mind. It's a 5-day strategic journaling practice with prompts and voice guidance from me. And if you want to go deeper, book a 90-minute breakthrough intensive. Links for both are in the show notes. And if you know someone who would benefit from this episode, I would be so grateful if you shared it with them so that they can make decisions from clarity instead of drowning in overwhelm. I will see you next time.